there we go. Now Trevor's on it for the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Night of Destruction. The Low Budget's bringing it to you. The season finale of the Low Budget's here, 2013. And Tommy, second event of the night. First off, we just got done with the Enduro, and now it's time for the skid plate race. If you didn't see the Enduro yet, you could see it linked in the description. Now, skid plate racing, this is what we've been doing all year. This is what these cars have been used for. This is what we know with these cars. What can we expect on Night of Destruction for a skid plate race?
You know, there's a big field of cars out for this one. All different types of drivers. Some we've seen racing this year, some that are fresh new to the division. Us going into this one, for me, I expected the unexpected, but I also knew what to expect. This car, I ran beautifully in the last race. I didn't score the best finish. I didn't really care. I just knew exactly what this car was going to do and be capable of going into Night of Destruction. So I came into this one thinking, hey, I might have a shot, but I'm starting in the back, so I don't care. Same as the Enduro. I just want to either do well or just be in the way. Trevor, how are you expecting that Night of Destruction skid plate race to be?
I was like you. I didn't know what to expect. I kind of went into it. We knew we were starting in the back. We're at a disadvantage. Starting in the back of a 30-car race, you're already half a track back. And especially with skid plates, it's not as tight as you want to get because you don't really have that option. Guys are getting ready to spin out. The thing that I was hoping for in this race was that we would have a chance of getting through the field a little bit better than we have prior this year. You know, maybe go for the win in this one. But again, there's a lot of cars in it. It's pretty much kind of avoid the carnage, but at this point I wasn't caring.
Yeah,
because you know what? There's one event after this one if those cars are still running.
And they don't have to look pretty for that one.
Oh no, they do not. The Demolition Derby, the compact car Demolition Derby is the one we're referring to. That one's going to be coming up here. But we also have an event before that one here in this night. Night of Destruction, a long night. But as far as the pit crew, let's talk a little bit about them. They're already at work at this point.
Oh, absolutely. They're working. They're thrashing on Shayla's number 2 car from the Enduro that wasn't really planning to be in the skid plate race and definitely wouldn't have made the call. So they were thrashing on that car. Meanwhile, between the open comp race, they switched over our number 00 car and the number 96 car skid plates. From tires to the plates, 4 and 5 lug nuts, on and off, big metal plates. What we usually do is chain them to the car so they don't flip over. We didn't even have that option because we wanted to make sure that these things were going to go on and off just fine. The crew quickly able to change out the plates to tires and vice versa. Still thrashing on Shirley's car. The pit crew, Dale, Louie, and Chris, those guys were amazing. They're the ones that made this night possible.
Oh, absolutely. Huge thank you to those guys from the Low Budget here. I mentioned that onboard cameras in the Enduro talked about how we're going to keep you guys updated on all those. The 2 cameras we had running for this race was a roof camera on my car and an in-car on my car. We had a camera on his roof, but we taped the door shut.
So we couldn't get to the power button to even start recording.
This is how hectic this night was, folks. I can tell you right now, for the next Night of Destruction, usually we have cameras in order. You see onboards and everything. Next Night of Destruction, I probably won't have an 8-hour exam to go.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. And I didn't know how late I was going to get to Irwindale. I got just about as late as I possibly could, comfortably, I could say.
Oh, yeah.
And that was, you know, barely getting stuff done. We still have all the cameras around the track. You ready to do a skid plate race?
Oh, man.
20 laps, right?
Of action.
All right, guys, it's been crazy. You ready for more? Skid plate time. It's time to go crazy.
Tony. Get ready for it, get ready for it. Here comes 20.
construction, you never know what's gonna happen. Ladies and gentlemen, the skid plate race over. I'm sitting on the front straightaway. You're still rolling, at least.
Hey, I pulled off the track. I was actually looking for you.
The skid plate race, we talked about it. We talked about how nuts everything was possibly going to be. And in a sense, I kind of saw a lot of guys not caring out there. It's the last race of the year.
And no need to care.
No, not at all.
All winter to work on your new low-budget car.
It was an insane race, a fun one. As far as I go in this race, again, like I said, I was hoping I can work my way through. The biggest deal is don't get lapped. If you're still on the lead lap, you have a chance.
Yes.
I was on the lead lap for a couple laps there. I saw the leaders come through. I think I got lapped twice within 2 laps. And I only spun out twice. But it was just one of those cases where those guys just have this stuff down. It is really, I mean, as dumb as this stuff looks, it is not that easy. It's a lot out there. But you were able to last throughout the whole race.
I did the whole race just fine. I probably got lapped 8 times. No, I don't even know. No major incidents for that 96 car.
That's a surprise.
But you had a flat tire at least.
Yeah, there were a couple events where I was convinced, Tommy. When you start seeing a car spin out when they're on your inside,
oh, you know
it's coming.
Yep.
And I saw that, and it happened twice to me in this race prior to certain events. And I was like, oh boy, mash the gas, crank it.
Yep.
Mash the gas, crank it. Avoided both, right? So I go around, and what's dumb about my wreck is that it happened at the dumbest point. And here's why. I had to slow down and stop because there was this pack of like 4 or 5 cars spun out in front of me. I get it around, I hit the gas, I get around them, and I just lay on the gas, and I'm thinking, I'm a genius, I just avoided that. And I realized that wall's coming up really fast. I clip it with my rear, my tires are facing the wall, I hit the wall, I'm convinced I tore it down.
Oh man.
And I tell you what, that was the hardest hit I've taken in a skid plate race car in a legitimate race.
Yeah, very true. And it did get your right front tire. It pulled off.
Yeah, no, I tried to keep driving it.
It just wouldn't go anywhere.
And I felt it wobbling. I was convinced. I was convinced that the right front of that whole car assembly was just gone. It felt like it was clunking. It felt like it was something was going on.
And it didn't help that that was your drive tire. So really, you had no drive to the track.
What it looks like is that it was just a flat tire, hoping. But the big deal here is, will that car be able to get off the track in time for the Derby? Yeah. I'm kind of worried about that at this point, and you guys will find out why as we get to that. But yeah, if you guys are interested in the next segment, or the previous one, the Enduro, before this race is down here in the description, as well as the trailer race that's coming up next. But a big roundup of the skid plate race, Tommy. It was the fun. It was the usual skid play race.
Yeah, it was the norm. It had a little bit more wild action purely because it was Night of Destruction.
Wasn't the wildest one of the year.
But it wasn't the wildest one of the year, surprisingly.
Yeah, but it was a good one, nonetheless. But we'll see. One of our cars may have just been eliminated again.
Oh, absolutely.
So you might be the last one left.